Today is May 4th, 2021. Going to go over my trades from today. I had a great day. Ended the day plus 42 ticks trading a one lot. And see that here. My first trade, I was up around 5 Mountain Time. So I ended up missing. I just kind of got to the screen. I really liked this trade, though. We can see that we're coming. We put in this balance range, this value area right here. So also had a pretty significant demand area here and quite a bit of space and more demand here. So the idea and the concept of the trade was to come down after we put in these highs here on larger volumes, and there's quite a bit of selling here. Then we came down and tested the top of the value here, and eventually to come down and test the bottom of this value area and fail. And that's exactly what happened. Great entry would have been here, right, anywhere right in here after this, after we respected the bottom side here and push down. Good target would have been these untested bar highs here, or even into this demand in here. I probably would have taken it off here, but missed that one. So we can see my first trade was a long try at 556, and that's after we come down and put in some very large volume here, and we'll go over on the number bars and see what that looked like. So the first thing that I notice is the large volume to the left here, and especially here on this swing low. And so these bar lows, we had a lot of volume coming in here. So I want to see what happens when we go down and test that. And what ends up happening is we do go down below and test that and reject back higher, push through this volume. So at this point, normally my expectation would be that we would respect this volume to possibly move lower. And we can see that's right in here. So again, we're coming back into this demand area where we've previously found high volume buyers here. So definitely a good area to be looking for a long trade there. And we can see that coincides on the 15-minute here at about in this area right here. So again, to the left, we're seeing that we're coming into this previous demand, and there's all demand in the overnight. So we're also opening up out of range, which supports long trades here. There is something to consider, which is this profile back here on Thursday. We are pushing back into that, so you can kind of see that prices can expect that this may respect the top side of value, or even this value area may come into this. So it's possible that we see a reaction. So I'm thinking about that when I'm looking for these setups on the long side. If we don't respect the top side of this value here, my expectation would be that we would come back in at least to the top side of this yesterday's value, and that didn't end up happening. So 556. So let's go back to my shorter time frame here. So 556, not an ideal target. What I'm looking at and what I'm thinking at the time as well, this isn't the strongest low. This isn't the most unfair price, because price kind of did chop down here, and we can definitely see that more. So I didn't love that. So it wasn't ideal, because we did kind of create a little bit of back and forth trade. But what I thought is, at least after testing the lower side of this, we didn't respect that, and then we got this nice imbalance push up through here. So 556, after this bar, this little push here, I entered here, and my expectation on this trade is that we push up through this supply, this untested supply here, at least to these untested bar lows. And this really was my target right here. So a little bit of a frustrating trade, because I ended up taking a +1 or a break-even trade on there, because it didn't quite get that last little bit. It was so close. Unfortunately, you can see also I was plus 140, 14 ticks on this trade when it ended up reversing through this kind of this back and forth trade, coming back to take me out break even. So my target was right around in this 52 area, which would have been a nice win. So next trade was, I tried another long at 640, and that's over here. And again, what I'm watching is, after we kind of respect the lower side of this value, my expectation is that, well, how are we going to treat this high volume area when we come back to it? And what ends up happening is we come down, have increase in volume on multiple tests and multiple attempts lower. Finally, here we get this final push down, nice little imbalance up, and then I try to grab it the long again at that 628, 65.28 number, right around here, coming back into this small demand, which my expectation now is that we have all of these weak highs up here, this weak high up here, and then again to go up and push and break up, at least to test these untested lows again, possibly into this untested supply here up at the 66. That would have been my ultimate target. Didn't happen. Came back again, and I took another break even when it took me out. So another long I took at 649 at 29. So I'm kind of in the same concept, the same idea. And we try again here, push down 649. Yeah, I just want to get the exact bar. So we get this push up here, and this is on. We have this small increase in volume, and something else is what I was watching here on our number bars here. Where's the volume coming in? So you can see this is this final push down, this low tick, and then we get this small imbalance up. So my expectation again is that this volume is going to hold, and we're going to take out those same untested highs that I was talking about. So 649, this is right around my entry here at 29, and we do hold this volume here, and we get this nice imbalance push up. Now again, I'm hoping I got all the way up to 49. I could have taken around 20 there, but I was looking for a little bit. What I wanted to see is that my expectation is that this weak high would be taken out, and we would see a flush here, and we would get kind of that final push up into. Now in hindsight, maybe I could have taken it off at those bar highs, but I would have expected to see at least 53 and a few ticks beyond that, possibly, and I would have managed that tight up into the 65. So unfortunately, it just didn't work out on any of these longs. It came back right up to 49, which something I notice a lot is that right around these 50 numbers, you tend to see a reaction. It's usually an area of interest. Another thing to notice here is that this is a very big flip zone here between two value areas, and that's denoted by this low volume node right here. But again, I wanted to lock in something on this. I didn't want to let it take me all the way back, 29 up to 39. So it put in this volume here. I was hoping that this area was going to hold and we were going to get that push higher. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. We reverse. You can see, which makes sense, is that we come all the way back down to this demand area, and but I got taken out +7. So just so close, a little bit frustrating, because all three of these trades were pretty valid to lock in some really nice profit. Between these, I had a maximum equity position of 42 ticks just between them. And then, so after it didn't push higher. My expectation now, 719, I'm watching this, and that we have this high tick failure here and a strong supply push here. And this is where I'm thinking we also have this, we put in this compression or this absorption bar here, and 719 I enter, and hoping to come down and at least test. We have this high tick here, this failure here, and then to come down to and break the lows. That didn't happen. I pretty quickly got taken out for a -7. I was only in that about 6 minutes. 7:25 is when I got taken out, which is on this little push up here. And obviously that was not a great one, but and then 7:58, I missed the move up, which I finally got this move up. So if I was nimble enough to be able to switch again, I could have grabbed along here up into that idea that I was talking about, to get up into the 65 area, or this 60 area. But didn't happen, and that would have been a decent trade. And then finally, this was a kind of a somewhat of a balanced day after we had the large range expansion from the overnight session. So this is a day where you definitely had to be able to switch your context back and forth pretty quickly. I'm definitely thinking shorts again, and 802 at 26 I got back on the short. And you can see what we're doing is we come up again, and my expectation is we're either going to push back up into this previous value here and come from above and then push higher, or we'll reject it, and that's exactly what we did. So we had this large volume put in here, test higher again, and then we just fall off. So price comes all the way back down, and now we put in this large little balance zone here. More supply comes in, and 802. This isn't the prettiest either, but what I'm watching on the number bars is that all of this volume is being put in. So if I can get on the right side of that, I'm always thinking, how do I get on the right side of volume? Because when trade is put in, I don't want to be the one taking a short up here coming back to this volume. So I'm always thinking about that, making sure that I'm on the right side of volume, which is easier said than done sometimes, because a lot of times we'll put in volume and it'll push through and then come right back. So I'm watching this very closely, and we're putting in these large volume areas. There's some really chunky volume here. 802, I take 26 right around here, and pretty quickly we get the push right down and the imbalance down, and I take that for plus 27 right at the round number 65. So that was my expectation again, that we would come down and break these lows. And so why this round number here? Well, if we go on to the higher time frame chart, even the 5 here, we can see that that is going to be this top side of this value area right here. We got the VPOC from Thursday here, and so I'm kind of targeting that, and I took it off right in front of, right at that round number. And we did push through, and it was a great trade, beautiful trade, because within just a few minutes I grabbed that at 65. The low of the move was 64.96. So, and then again, expectation is that we may, if we can push down through this area, we are going to test back into the overnight area here and push lower. So that 70 area would be a target, a nice area to target for further shorts. That didn't happen. We rejected, put in volume, and moved higher. And that's at that point. My context hasn't changed to longs, but we're looking at pretty much some of the highest volume and a very large imbalance demand push out of that area. We come back down again right there where I marked this volume. We can see it on number bars. It's so nice. The number bars are great because you can see it so clearly here. So we push up, and where do we come? Right back to that demand area. We respect it, push back up, get a nice imbalance push here, and at this point my context is starting to change, that I want to see, I'm looking for long setups. And at 835 after this area, I want to see if we are going to respect this, and I decide before we break these highs I'd like to be in, and I grab that price right here at 26 right before the push up. Expectation is that now we have a lot of weak highs to the left, and that we're going to come up and retest the top side of this value. This high tick here is a good target at 60, but what ends up happening is at 49 is where we test into this bar high here, and I take that off in front of that because I wanted to lock in a nice trade here. What I'm hoping for is that this little zone holds. You can see we push down, push up nicely. 835. I'm not even talking about the right area, excuse me. 835. Okay, yeah, here. So this is the push that gets me. It basically just goes right to let's see here. What am I targeting here? So these bar lows are still untested. And then the high of the move is right at here at 52. So it was a great exit, taking that off there at 49. So that's it. I missed a really nice long up into this. This is the one that I was just mistakenly talking about, because I got a little confused because I was hoping to grab this long as well. I missed that at like 9:16. So again, we fail this lower side. Planning on this high being taken out, and at least up into this high ticket 60. So I had a order in here before these weak highs were broken, and I was trying to target back in, even into this 25 would have been ideal. I just, after this demand push here, I didn't think it was going to come back, and I wasn't going to get a fill. Tried 27 again, just came up, and then it broke these highs. At that point, I'm a little less excited about taking it, especially with the wide stop here, because you really have to be below these lows at 14. Another clue on the number bars on that trade is something that really made me want to be on the long side. Is we put in this really large absorption here. You can see before the push up. So at this point, I'm thinking the long trade is definitely on. Come back up, never get my fill, and would have been another 30 or so ticks to take that up into that 59 area. You can see price definitely reacted here, and even to go up and move even higher. But overall, great day. Was reading the market pretty well. It was balance, and it seems a lot of guys don't like the balance. They prefer a lot more movement. What I find is that sometimes on the large trending imbalance days is that my mentality seems to like to fade and fade highs and lows. So on a trending day, I tend to get taken out, and I'm trying not to fade. Definitely something I'm very mindful of, not fading those highs, not fading those lows. But this was a great day overall. I feel like a little bit of different management, just a little bit more luck. I could have been around 100 plus ticks, and that would have been phenomenal. But I'll take 42. That will make me a lot of money all day, every day, if I can stay consistent. So still have a lot of work to do on my trade management and staying consistent, but being mindful that 42 with leveraged size is a really nice day. Thank you.